Good evening, guys. Here is Pal Track Nerd. Yeah, uh, as a figure collector, I very much am more on the small print run, the small brands, if you will. I collect very little like mass release stuff. Some, but I do cherry pick. I think for the most part. So on this video, I guess I'm gonna mostly talk about the big one, for me at least. That being Mythic Legions. A line that it's been around for a while now, right? Originally a Kickstarter line to sort of get it off the ground, and now it's mostly sold through a pre-order on Store Horseman, and then on third-party sites after that. I was not there from day one. I wouldn't say day one-ish. So let's say um, around around the time when it hit Big Bad for the first time. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. And ever since then, I've been there. Usually, like the pre-order system on Store Horseman is usually my first my first go-to thing. At least for the ones that I know I want. Beyond that, it gets a bit sort of complicated, perhaps, but that's sort of where I start. Now, I have a selection in front of me, at least the one that I'm going to show sort of individually. At the end, I'm sure I'm going to do a slow pass on the entire collection, because the way it's set up right now, it's a bit difficult to take out one at a time without the entire thing falling out. That's and I'm not about that, son. No, I'm not. So, first one. Now, forgive me if I don't remember all the names anymore, even if I should. I don't. But yeah, this one is one of the early ones, for sure. I think it was at least like the first or maybe first or second wave. And of course, like yeah, it's a dwarf. And I mean, dwarves are generally my favorite sort of race in fantasy stuff. Anyway, like I play one in every fantasy game that will let me. So hey, I am at the moment I am almost. Well, technically I am, but the missing one is more like one is sort of a Kickstarter exclusive that I just missed out on. I'm not paying like $400 plus for one. That's not happening. Rest is some Legion builders, which I hope will get a reissue later. Some of them did, so I'm still hopeful. Now this is the first one, first sort of part of the first sort of earlier waves. So it's a good sort of example of sort of where they came from and where they're going. Obviously, dwarves were they were also from the beginning. So what do you get? This is a dwarf, and this is also like to this day this is the general buck for a dwarf, right? And like the few earlier waves, there was a lot of reuse. I mean, there still is, and to their credit, they managed to use it very well. So it's not as obvious, right? So, but yeah, this is it's a Mythic Legion. Um, like this as an example, right? The shields, like a lot of them come with shields. Sometimes with their faction logo on it. The House of Noble Bear being this guy's. They do this whole clamp thing. They don't do them anymore. Now they're moved into sort of a handle. So it looks like kind of like a door handle, which is not accurate either, but I don't know. But yeah, like obviously, Mythical Legions will never win any awards on articulation. Probably not, right? But paint and sculpt, all day, every day, son. No doubt. I think this is also a very modular line. So you can take the heads off, you can plug these things off, you can put like wings on them or whatever. Much like the same thing as well here, like the shoulder pauldrons all sort of plugged in. You can plug in someone else's pauldrons, you can put wings on them. This one in the, I know this middle shot is kind of confusing to some people. It's generally for wings, generally. Probably some other ports, but like wings is kind of what people do use them for, right? From my experience. So yeah, right. Yeah, I am very. Also, did come with a axe, right? Big, and this was more common before. Now, not so much. But like when it was out, this came with a lot of figures, certainly. Yeah, this originally this could split apart, and you could put sort of just a some sort of edge thing on there, like you can. This is but mine broke originally, so I had to glue it, and at least for my in my case, this is fine because the dual axe thing looks kind of cool to me, so it kind of works. So I'm not gonna complain too much. Now, on this video, I tend to talk also about some of the goalposts that have been moved for me. Not that it matters really, but it's kind of a weird thing because maybe that's just a testament to how cool the line is. It's how they will make you care about stuff that you didn't care about before. Yeah. So let's go right ahead and do that right now. I can just put it right here. You can just doesn't really matter. This was my first elf figure, and probably, in my opinion, still the best one, or at least the coolest one, right? Sort of like the sapphire blue eyes, sort of like very very light blue, almost white hair with sort of the shiny thing. So it's very sort of pearl white sort of gear there, and sort of like blue. And this is the what they will refer to as a 2.0 body. This came sort of a bit later, where they slimmed some parts down and gave us elves and women. Because apparently people were asking for that. Which, yeah, bring it on. And I've had mostly a good experience with them, except for like the ankles. The ankles aren't great in my opinion. They're not as tough because they seem to put and they're very easy to follow because the ankles aren't terribly resilient. But yeah, and because it comes with this like nice sort of fur, I don't know, cape, cloak, mantle. I'm not sure what you call it. And he has this like sort of meant to look like, I'm sure meant to look like snow perhaps, because it does go pretty far down in the ground. So if you just, I can just angle it, as if you walk down, the cloak would sort of drag behind, and it will leave sort of traces in of the snow if you ever, yeah. So that's cool. It comes with a quiver, a dagger, as you can probably see right here. It comes with a dagger or a short sword perhaps. A bow. That's probably what you saw in the background. Also came with an axe and a different head, sort of helmeted head. So you could, in theory, buy one more and have sort of her officers, perhaps, maybe. This has a string for the bow. So this, I mean, it was functional. Not so much anymore because this has been kind of worn out. But theoretically, you can replace it. So it is what it is. But yeah, like on the elf side, like I'm not. Generally, when it comes to elves in fantasy, I'm not a huge fan. Like I'm just not. To be obviously kind of boring. Maybe that makes sense because I'm a huge dwarf fan, and they're like the straight opposite from an elf in every aspect. So maybe, but I bought this for basically normal price, like retail from Big Bad. And it's bizarre, right? Because Thalen was that's her name by the way, Thalen Frostbow. Like she was on Big Bad for like months, if not more, not moving. And then one day she was gone. Like poof, gone, no more. And unfortunately for a lot of people, like Big Bad is like the last stop. Really, like if Big Bad sells out, it is for sure sold out. Like it is gone unless it gets a re-release, which of course with this line is more likely than not. Because just the because some of my figures of sort of the older releases that I missed out on are bought through a All Star or through the All Star system. And for those of you that don't know, that is a if you are sort of linked up, not linked up, like you're signed up to a sort of newsletter, they will send you a survey where you can vote for a handful of figures, and the winners of that, the select winners of that, comes back into production. You can put it, and then you can pre-order them from there, get who you want, and then of course I think that the stores can do the same. That's why like when the pre-orders have expired from Store Horseman, they will also go up on Big Bad. So you can get them there if that makes more sense to you. Maybe it does, right? It's a personal choice. But yeah, the elves. At today or these days, I own 3 more elves. Not so this ice, frost, snow elf type of thing, but elves in general. I guess they're meant to be more sort of forest, deep forest elves, perhaps. A couple of legion builders and one sort of soldier guy. But that's that. Because they look really cool. And then you end up just getting them. No. And then you sort of that's one sort of goalpost that I moved. Like I'm not gonna get any elves because elves were boring. Now I have 3. That's like you'd be surprised of how much that happens with this line for sure. This happens to me just a few times. So that would be that. See, yeah, it's not great. Next goalpost that I would moved was the skellies, the skeletons, if you prefer, if you will. Similar situation. Like I'm not. I mean, this look cool. Don't get me wrong, but like, because I know some people that are hardcore into it, especially in the cabal, the Facebook group for this line. There are some people that are hard into the skeletons. They look really cool, but the thing is that they all look the same. At least that's why my initial thoughts were, well, they all look the same. Like, how do you change this? Or how do you make different characters when really all their heads gonna look identical? Maybe smaller, maybe bigger. Like, you're gonna get it's still gonna be a skeleton in different armor. Now this one I bought from an all-star wave. I think I also voted for this one because this went from quite a lot of money at the time. So yeah, I voted. It won, thankfully, and I needed to buy it. I didn't have to pay eBay prices, which I'm very very thankful of. And yeah, comes with this like soft goods cape. Kind of feels like your suit jacket, very stiff, very But it's that's what it's supposed to do. It comes with mostly swords and knives and whatever else. And like I say, this can, if that wasn't obvious, you can just pop the heads off and like this whole thing and take these off, the cape off. It's all good. Like if you want to put like skeleton's head on like an elf or whatever, you can. That's what this whole line is about, the customizability of it all. Now, similar situation, because this was not my first skeleton. My first skeleton was this guy called Brother Mandibulus, and he was I bought him from a guy in the Cabal, I think. I checked in the Cabal perhaps, and that was my first skeleton, and he looked cool. I don't know. It's all you buy it, and I was like, sure, I got a good price of it, because realistically, the figure came out, and obviously it's sold out, and like even from like Big Bad, and the Big Bad it was like Big Bad, Big Bad sells like a generic Mythic Legion for around 50 bucks, right? Generally, and Enforcement they're like 37, 38, and they go up and down depending on the tier of Legion builder, character, ogre scale, troll scale. We'll get to it. Yeah. So, but he was sold out, and he would have been at least 70, 80 plus shipping had I bought him on eBay on the low. He might have been missing some accessories and whatnot, but yeah, it was complete 50 bucks I think shipped. So I got him. I thought, man, skeletons are actually kind of cool. Now I own 3. Yeah, that's how it goes. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes. And yeah, that's basically it. I mean, what is what you get. Like they're not gonna be like the lighting might be very bad. Yeah, like they do work, so you can sort of can do this way as well. You can sort of pop this apart here and there. I won't go ham on it because I haven't done it on this one, so maybe they're stuck perhaps. I don't want to risk it because I don't feel like it. So yeah. Next one will be a demon. Just a demon. Now this is pretty much the 1.0 body, minus of course the hooves and the demon head. But you see this body a lot, even at the bare-chested one. You see that on like barbarians and what have you. And this, I think, yeah. This obviously this is sort of a pair almost together with his other half, if you will. That being very similar, just that there's different, just that he's blue. They sort of come together as sort of one demon. That's sort of the lore. But yeah, like I think I bought the blue one years ago. But at that point, the yellow one was sold out everywhere, and I couldn't get him. He ended up in an all-star wave. I got him for like the normal price, and I was very lucky. Very happy. And a knife, or dagger, sword, spear. And yeah, they're very nice figures. I will say that, but you're just not. Yeah, you'll see. I'm sure you can probably see it if you go back to the dwarf, right? Like these are very similar, like shoulder pauldron, just different color. And I'll yeah. But this is sort of the early ones. This is soft, so it'll get out of your way plenty. But yeah, get a lot of yeah. Yeah. Now for the last one, or the last individual one, of course, being your this is a I said the last wave that has actually come out. Was that Elithia? Maybe. It's all a mess at this point. But yeah, they come with a bunch of cool stuff, like, and I bought my fair share. Let's just say. Among others, I bought my first vampire, which again, like, that's another. Yeah, the whole demon thing. Like, I own 3 demons now. Yeah. So, yeah, this is sort of this is almost like the new standard for them. Like, just the new like. There's a lot of new parts that have shown up later in this wave specifically, and probably will in the future. Right, suddenly get like pants with sculpted wrinkles. That's kind of nice. Get this thing with all the painted studs on it. You get, I mean, the hands. As you can probably imagine, the hands do a pop apart. They do. They always have. But like with this one, he came with different types of hands. So that's kind of nice. Because this one, this is sort of he hangs on a sort of cuff. You can pop off if you choose to. And yeah, among other things, like I say, this hand here, which I at the moment I'm using as sort of a shooter arm hand rather. So it has a vertical hinge. As you can probably see, like it has sort of the hinge goes up and down instead of this way, which makes sense when you're holding something that's a gun this way. Or yeah, so and the sense being that he comes with a cape or a cloak, it's supposed to be, because it's supposed to hang in with the hood, but it doesn't. The hood is a separate piece to the head. But yeah, nice cape. It also has bendy wire in it. This is this has become sort of, I think the Horseman's sort of new toy, that being bendy wire. They seem to have put it in a lot more stuff these days, which I'm very thankful of. And I sort of just have them like this, and then sort of like over one shoulder, and then I have sort of how the crossbow sort of hidden. This being this one again, proper string, no plastic nonsense. Gotta handle. It doesn't work, but you can simulate that it does. Sword in a sheath works. The head sculpt is, if you can just focus, please. There you go. Really great, I'd say. This got paint for days too, so it's very. So that the shoes now has sort of a heel on it. That's kind of neat. They tend to be kind of flat mostly, so yeah, they do stand pretty well though, so that's not an issue. So you got sort of some if I can just, there you go, some made like wear and tear, like some dings in the shoulder armor. Like he's meant to look like he's been in the shit real. Now, in the future, I wonder if they're gonna do like maybe this character again, maybe without his hood, perhaps. Maybe, right? I think this is basically Magnus's head, though. Just different skin tone. At least they're very similar to one. And the eyes as well and everything. But yeah, that is that. A individual look on some mythic legions. Now, a smart man would probably at least show you the different scales, like at least one ogre and at least one troll, and maybe the legion builders to show off what I mean. But that's a bit difficult the way it's set up. But I will show you in the overall section, and I will point it out. So you will do that right now. Take it away, future me. And we are at the shelves, or at the cabinet. You're looking at two mounts. This is the horse that goes with the ranger that I just showed you. Proper, like good, like the day the first horseman showed off horses was a great day. Like, man, finally we got mounts, and now they're making bears and shit. Like, awesome. And moose, because why not? This is a more recent one. It's to be sort of a new Templar type, or new, not new, but you know, new for me. Then I got my this is my first homage figure, Sir Gerard. If you know, you know. Looks really cool though, I gotta say. Yeah. And this shelf being, as you can see on the back there, those are the ogre scales. They are bigger. And yeah. And then of course one homage figure. It's meant to look like Trapjaw from He-Man. Officially, he definitely is not. So, you know, got Faunus, I think his name was. Great figure, in my opinion. That's an orc, a Fury orc specifically. That's why he's red. That's because you can see I bought. Yeah. So I bought her. If I can just, I bought sort of. Oh my god! I bought the chick, right? The orc sort of clan leader guy chick. And I thought, well, you need some guards, right? So I bought like one and two. You can probably see it. Now three also. That's another goalpost moved. Was gonna get orcs. Now I have some. So yeah. And as for systems, I see I haven't had the barbarian in the back there. He just got re-released, so go get him. Um, as for the second tier right there, I think there isn't really a system for me at the moment. But yeah, some guys there. Got was some angel-looking chick in the back there. Was pretty cool. Got some barbarians. Suddenly have a lot of Templars, which again I wasn't supposed to get, mostly because I think initially the promotional pictures wasn't that great. They were just sort of people in armor. So I got her, and I did find out that she comes with a unhelmeted head, and with just one temple looks kind of weird. So I bought three more. Want to hold a banner, of course, so makes sense to my. Got these two guys in the front there, that being this one and this one. This is a 2-pack from my Kickstarter thing. I backed the game like a lot of people did. Got the 2-pack for that. That's pretty cool. Now there are some like some sort of there are some rules, some sort of system, if you could call it that. Not really, but at least in my case, this being that because I have one sort of shelf that is literally all dwarves. And like I know I have some rare ones, some old ones, some new ones, some. It's all the way at the left there. It's the first and only so far female dwarf. There'll be another one, so that's cool. Got some gladiator one right there. Definitely one of my favorites. It was really cool. And a lot of sort of army builders, right? Now at the bottom, the king is back there, if you can see him. Oh yeah. The last on this list, right? We got sort of my goblin shelf at the moment. They have fallen down, of course, again. But of course, it includes my first horse, together with Magnus. It was a bit bad, but yeah, it was really cool. And so the brown horse that I can reuse for multiple things later. Several goblins. Yeah, goblins. Now, so that is, of course, that is at the different scales, right? Goblins, dwarves, apparent elves, humans, orcs, barbarians. Now for the next last tier. Let's go. And we are back on the final shelf. Good God. We even have a centaur, using the horseback to make centaur. Got a couple of more orcs. Well, actually was wrong. I had 2 more orcs. Got Bellum there, the first and only sort of Catman thing. That's my few elves there. Like there's some 2 sort of guys in the gold armor and the officer. Got 1 knight. Got whatever the hell she is. Got 1 troll, because I got the roof anymore. Yeah, same. Massive thing. Other skeleton guy. Other demon. Skeleton behind there as well. More sort of event versions. Grisha. Yeah. My other demon as well. Do you see it? Oh, okay. This is gonna be bad. The fawn. Not the orc. I have more. some gladiator stuff and some barbarian guy and 1 more ogre scale in the back there. If you can see him, this crazy bag. Maybe. Awesome line. Oh, you missed my vampire. We can't have that, can we? My first and so far only vampire. Yeah, as you can see, Elisa's used a lot of parts from the one I just showed you, right? But with some modifications. And yeah, I'll be right back for the final thoughts. Yeah, back. So, um, after all that, right? That's really cool, right? Because I mean, it does make it easier to collect when you want to collect like the small one stuff. Like there only is nearly as many, and you won't get as many duplicates. I pity the people that collect Marvel Legends like hardcore. Like you can end up with like 12 Wolverines in a year. Like I don't I just don't. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, like I like it. You know, like it's fun because you have more of a creator controlled line, and yeah, because you know, like stuff that has to be released in a store are under certain sort of restrictions on the cost and paint and maybe some. If it looks too grotesque, that's a problem. If it shows too much skin, that's a problem. If it's has gun, that's a problem. So it's not that Mythic Legion has guns, but just sort of broadly, it comes to that the whole small company thing. Yeah, that's basically that. So I have at this point, like I just figured, like even like Mythic Legion are probably my favorite line, like period. And then that's a big statement for me. But yeah, like I do, because I've been collecting them for so long now, and because I was in for so early, I sort of I feel kind of lucky, right? Because I have when it comes to a lot of the really old ones, either I have them or I don't want them, or I can sort of wait if it shows up at an all-star thing, because like then I might, right? Because that's kind of what I'm saying. Is that so I would probably even give up my imports before I give up my mythics. That's how uh, that's how much I enjoy them. So yeah, Mythic Legions by Four Horsemen Studios. Um, After all of this, I am of course they're doing the Cosmic Legion now, which are more so sci-fi, and I am happy that I can just be like, I'm good. Some people, because I am more of a fantasy versus sci-fi guy, so but some people will most certainly be the other way around, and that's fine, absolutely fine. But yeah, that's basically it. Have you have you even heard about Mythic Legions? Because I know that there is a community for it, and I didn't. And I'm not one not to throw shade, but I will. But I'm not one of those people that sort of quit the line and then now has to get back on it because they sort of got on the hype when they weren't even that interested in the first place. But yeah, I've been there, day one ish, and I haven't stopped. I probably never will, because I have several pre-orders. Some are paid for, some are not, and I am glad to see what's gonna come into the future. The community is great, because of course there's also the whole stuff with, you know, because there are some people that buy them mostly for custom, right? They buy them, they repaint them, they use 3D printers to print out new arms and legs and heads and whatnot to make them different. So there's different people that have different needs, desires, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that is the video, I think. If you like it, cool. If you didn't, oh well. That's gonna be it for me, guys. Later. Boop.